Hi, I'm Paris Redwood. I'm from Mariner High School, or West Sunoco Young Life, and I'm just going to share my story about how I was introduced to Young Life. Our Young Life takes place on Monday nights, which is really awesome. It's just kind of like a week starter. Well, the 2 days before our first Young Life, my cousin had passed away in a car accident, in a drunk driving accident, and I didn't really know about Young Life, so I didn't really want to get involved in all that stuff. And so as I was going throughout this weekend, just had a lot of stuff on my mind, and I watched a lot of my family tend to lose faith or just back away from God and just take a step back just because they've witnessed this tragedy. And I go to school on Monday. So I walk into first period, and it just so happened that my teacher had my cousin as a student, and she, as much as I didn't want attention brought to it, she definitely brought attention to it, and she just apologized and told me how sorry she was, and the 85 other kids that were in my class, they all were like, I'm sorry, and just sorry for your loss, and it was kind of just like a rough start to my morning. And then I go into second period, and we're talking about the impacts of airbags and car crashes, and it was just a really tough time. And so, I get done with that class, I go into third period, and we're talking about a French movie that had a car crash, and how this car crash impacted so many lives, and it was a weird movie, but I just couldn't handle being at school anymore, so I called my mom and I went home. So throughout the rest of the day, I was just at home in this sorrow setting, and it was kind of just sad. And then I go to basketball practice later that evening, and after basketball practice, I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I was ready to leave. And so I booked it out the door, and as I'm leaving, I see two faces smiling as bright as they could, inviting us to invite my sister and I to come to Young Life. And I didn't really want to go. I wanted to just go home and be done. And somehow I just felt compelled to go, and so I told my mom hey, I'm gonna stick around for Young Life, and she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And so I went to Young Life. I saw a couple of my friends there, and Duran and Jabari were like, yeah, you're coming to Young Life, and they were just really excited. And so I went to Young Life that night, and it was such an amazing release, and I just praised God, and I just had a really good time with some amazing friends, and I was introduced to this whole new family, this whole new branch of people that just had the same love for God that I did. And it was awesome, and I just appreciate Young Life so much. They got me through one of the toughest times in my life, and they helped me and they didn't even know it, but they helped me through a really hard time. And I just love being here and love being in this family setting and around these people.